Hi everyone, Flaming Footy here and welcome back to another YouTube video on the channel. And today guys, here we are for another AFL 2022 finals review. Today we're going to be reviewing both games from week 2 of the 2022 AFL finals, both the semi-finals. This really shouldn't be too long, probably about maybe 6 minutes, and a little bit of just a little preview before next round. And also, just so you know, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and make sure to do so, because I've got some more massive videos planned to come out on the channel really soon, so that's going to be exciting. But let's just go ahead and hop right into the review. Alright, so it was a massive Friday night to kick off the semi-finals in the 2022 AFL Finals Series. And of course, week 2 started off with an absolute bang between Melbourne and Brisbane. I feel like the result that we got was pretty far from what I had in mind anyway. Melbourne 11-13-79, Brisbane 14-8-92. Melbourne go out in straight sets. Melbourne are out. Melbourne are out of the finals. They're no longer a chance to win the flag, if you can believe that. I feel like that's really rocked the footy world and shocked everyone, because I feel like a lot of people had them tipped to go through to at least a preliminary final or get through the grand final, but they just couldn't end up finishing and running this one out. Brisbane in the end just outclassed them 11-13 to 14-8. Brisbane made the most of their chances, and Melbourne's inaccuracy is what did keep Brisbane in it, really. Because, look, Melbourne owned the first half of football. They literally owned everything. They owned the first whole half. Brisbane, every time, Melbourne just were all over them in that first half. And at quarter time was 3-6 to 1-3. So both teams had their misses. But Melbourne 3-6, that's disappointing to say the least. And then 6-8 at half time. That late goal really shouldn't have happened. They should have held a 28-point lead rather than 22, but it still felt like enough. You still felt like the third quarter was going to be their own quarter and they're going to walk out the park and absolutely destroy them. But no, just another twist to the tail, I guess. And Brisbane come back to be even 59-59 at three-quarter time, and then they just own that last quarter, like literally just own it. And they get a couple of goals away. Melbourne try and come back, but again, the same old saying, too little too late. Does not get the job done. Brisbane are through to a prelim and have a pretty decent chance of attacking the grand final. One more note though, they broke their MCG hoodoo somehow. I don't know how this even happened, but they did it. That's the word for Brisbane. They did it, and they are through to a prelim, and they'd be very happy with that effort. Saturday night footy at the MCG, both of these semi-finals in Melbourne this weekend for Collingwood and Fremantle, and Collingwood 11-13-79 beat the Dockers 9-5-59. David Mundy's farewell game. We go back to last week at the Optus Stadium elimination final. That was his last home game, which we all knew that, and this was his last game. He got his last goal in his last game, but sadly the legend couldn't be sent off in the nicest way possible. It was a pretty poor loss in the end, and I think for the Dockers it's a lucky 20-point loss in the end, because they just got destroyed by Collingwood. Collingwood absolutely destroyed them, and they probably should have won by more. They kicked 9 behinds in a row at one stage, Collingwood, and that could have been about, let's just round it down to about 5 or 6 goals, and they could have won by about 50 points. So the Dockers are very lucky that they lost by 20, but there was no real upside for the Dockers. They've got a big exodus looming them in this trade period. Lots of players playing their last games for Fremantle. We know Lobb, Logue, Akers, Tucker, now Liam Henry's in the situation. There's lots of players, Meek, but Meek didn't even play, but there's still plenty of players that are in that conversation for Fremantle with trade. And also same thing with Collingwood, except they look like they're bringing in more than what's going out, but man, this was an interesting game though, especially from a Collingwood point of view. They were really good, and they'll be taking this into the SCG going, well, we had a really good game last week. Let's follow it up again. The SCG is a tough place to play, but look, Collingwood just destroyed the Dockers. 8 goals, 12 to 4 at three-quarter time. They just destroyed them. There's not really a lot to say. They just absolutely destroyed them. They absolutely destroyed the Dockers. The Dockers were never in the game. Collingwood just showed their class. They put it on show at the MCG for a thumping win. So there we have it. Week 2 of the finals done and dusted just like that. The Lions by 13, the Pies by 20. They both advanced to preliminary finals. Melbourne and Fremantle were knocked out of the 2022 AFL season. And now to the prelim finals we go. Massive game Friday night. Geelong and Brisbane at the MCG. Look, this game is critical. And Brisbane have been reportedly matched up well with Geelong. So don't rule them out this one. Do not rule them out. Is there just another twist to the tail? Like, is there just... Look, Brisbane have beaten Richmond. They weren't expected to win that. Definitely weren't expected to beat Melbourne. They've been the underdogs in all their games. Who says they can't do it here? So this one's a really good one to keep your eye on. Of course, winner straight through the granny. And then same with Sydney Collingwood. Another really good clash. But again, you just feel like SCG, the Swans do have their noses in front so far. But Collingwood, they've been the team that you really don't know with them this year. That they've played some brilliant football this season. So if they were to go and beat Sydney again, that would be interesting as well. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were to get the job done because they've been a really good side. But saying that, though, it is going to be very tough to beat Sydney on their home deck at the SCG. And of course, after this week, we'll have our grand finalists confirmed for the 2022 AFL Grand Final to be held on Saturday, the 24th of September. Really looking forward to the grand final. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you guys never miss another video on the channel. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Bye everyone. Flaming Footy out.